Hello, hello. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Otafest podcast. It is the first episode of 2022, and I'm here with Jay and Angelo.
As I like to call it, 2020 New Game Plus.
I was just about to say, this is the... Oh, God, I don't know how many episodes we had in 2020, but it's 2022. First episode.
And I'm Nancy.
She's Nancy.
So hello, welcome back. Fuzzy hugs.
That's Angelo. I'm Jay. Have a good night.
And that's all, folks.
Well, time to hit the old dusty trail.
I'm already done with this year.
I would actually be down for that. I have not slept well since before Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Sounds like we got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, if you've ever wanted to be part of Otafest beyond just attending, the volunteer and panel applications are now open. So help us put together our 2022 convention. And on that note, the early bird tickets are also now available, so head over to otafest.com for all the sweet deets.
A quick reminder that Otafest 2022 will be a 2-day event rather than our traditional 3-day event. In keeping the interest of everybody's health, we will be requiring that all attendees will be wearing their masks and be fully vaccinated. Thank you. Yeah.
So we got some catching up to do.
Yeah, we took a little break.
I haven't been on this podcast since last year.
I know, it's been a whole delineation of a year since we last talked.
I haven't even thought about Otafest for a whole year. That's not true.
And now we are.
Yeah. We're in 2022, and it has not started well, at least personally. I mean, not in like a super bad way. I was sick for a little bit.
Same.
I hope other people weren't sick, but Nancy was sick. So,
there we go.
A lot of people were
sick this holiday.
Yeah.
A lot of people were sick this holiday.
Yeah.
So, this is not a New Year's resolution by any stretch of the imagination.
Don't be sick.
But I have been trying to get my booster shot, and I successfully received said booster shot. And oh boy, did that floor me really good.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Like fever, really bad fever. It triggered a migraine in me. Like I was just out for a few days. Sean slipped on some ice and bruised some ribs, which is honestly the best outcome of where he fell. Like that could have been so much worse. And I'm thankful that it's only bruised ribs. So not a fantastic start to the new year, but it's also not that bad.
I hope it only gets better from there.
Yeah, same.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's just been a time. But I do hope that most, I hope all of our listeners had a good holiday, whether it was, New Year's or some other, festival that happens around this time, because there's many. It's not just a Christmas thing. And, hope everyone got on their right foot, because I did not. It feels like, well, that's not true. I started the year with Duck, which you guys didn't come to, but
I was so tired that day.
It's okay.
That I didn't even remember Duck was happening until I would have had to have left to go there.
Fair enough.
Oh, yikes.
No, it's okay.
And by that time, I had to get ready for work anyway.
We had lots of people.
Well, we were isolating in the week leading up to it, so
we had
safer not to go.
Yeah, we had lots of friends who were able to make it. And obviously, we're all sort of a vaccinated group and all that kind of stuff. So, and the restaurant wasn't very full. Actually, we were pretty much not all on our own, but it was mostly just us kind of folks. But it was good times.
How many ducks were consumed?
I think
an entire flock of seagulls.
I think 11, maybe. I think 11
that's pretty
total.
good.
So it's not bad. We did good. The food was good. The company was good. And then after that, I got sick.
This is my second year without Duck, and I regret it.
Yeah.
You'll never
Maybe that's
have
what
Duck again.
went wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't start off the new year with Duck.
I mean, for me, it was pretty much that was the only good part so far of this year. So I'll take it. I'll be
Woof.
like, I'm gonna hold on to that as being the good thing.
All right.
But yeah,
That's good. I know we talk about this every time, but did you guys make any form of resolutions for the year?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that last year on the podcast, I think I made a couple resolutions. And I just want all of our listeners to know that I failed every single one. Except one, actually. Except one. So I think my resolutions last year were get vaxxed, go travel to visit my dad, and not buy any computer parts at all during the entire year.
So
I think it was around March or April that one of my monitors died.
mm-hmm.
oh no.
So right there, it was like, well, I have to replace that. Luckily, I have a very nice monitor now. I think I talked about it on the podcast a long time ago. I did not do any sort of traveling whatsoever. I think the furthest from Calgary I went was to Red Deer to go to the donut mill. But I did get vaxxed. So 1 out of 3. I got a 30% success rate.
That's
This year, though,
that
I
sounds
expect
bad.
to have a much better success rate. I'm keeping my New Year's resolution pretty simple. For the most part, things that I would have done anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to hone my skills. I want to get better at pixel art. I want to get better at animation. I want to be able to do it faster, better, more consistently, do it more. And then the last thing is a little bit different. Eons ago, back when I was in high school,
When
I
you
took
were
up
but a
playing
wee
the
child.
drums. I took up playing the drums, and back then, my dad bought me a drum kit that even then was about 15 years old. It's only a couple years younger than I am, and a couple last Christmas, not Christmas this year, Christmas last year. My Christmas and birthday gift was that my dad shipped me out my old drums. Even though I
Nice.
told him multiple times that he could just sell them because I don't have room for them.
I have a similar
So-
story to that, but keep going.
The entire year I've had them set up. I've barely been able to play them because, well, they're drums. They're too goddamn loud. They're too goddamn loud. And this year for Christmas, our work put a nice little Christmas card on our desk, and it had a $20 Best Buy gift card in there. And so I was browsing the Best Buy website, and they just happened to have a musical instrument section. And so I go in, I see some $2,000 trumpets, and I'm like, oh,
Holy.
tempting.
At Best Buy?
Yes.
Crazy.
On their website, at least.
Oh, Best Buy does that third-party market seller place thing
Yeah.
now. So
That's tempting. But $2,000 is a little bit over what this card will do for me. So I kept going, and eventually I found some drum mutes on there. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. That's an interesting idea. I go price them out, what a kit for my drum kit would be. And, well, it's like $130, but I mean, hey, $20 off. Not too shabby. I look up some reviews, and they seem pretty good. There was a YouTube video of a guy doing it, and wow, it seemed pretty good. So I ordered them. I got them here. I installed them on my drums. Good Lord. I think I'm one of the very few people who is happier that their drums are quieter.
I am.
Normally, that's the opposite of what you want.
It's because you're a considerate person.
Yes.
But that's just the thing. Like before, if I wanted to practice playing the drums, I needed everybody to be out of the house because they were that loud. Whereas now, let me just swing my microphone over to my drum kit and do a little something something. I think that the difference will be startling. It will not sound like a drum kit.
That sounds
would have
almost like an electronic drum.
under any
little bit.
circumstances, damn near deafened Dio, who was on her PC right beside. Like I can absolutely beat on these things. I can go absolutely crazy because it's like a thick pad. It's like about a 1/4 inch thick pad that goes on the drum skin. There's almost no limit to how hard I can beat the drums. My sticks won't break. It won't be too goddamn loud. It is amazing. And so with this, I expect that I'll actually be able to practice the drums quite a bit. And by the end of the year, I want to be able to play a little bit of drums on stream. I think it would be great.
Can I share?
Cool.
Can I share something that's like tangentially related to the whole like?
Sure.
What you were saying about your dad shipping out your drum set to you when you were like, like you don't really care either way about having them, right? I mean, I'm sure you like them now. But so back when I was like 18 or 19, for my birthday, I received like a Yamaha electronic keyboard. Kind of like your standard, like it's not bad. I don't know if it's any good, but like it was okay. But then like when I was about 19, 20, I moved away I moved out of my mom's place, and like I've just been living on my own since. And but I didn't really have room or like places to really put like this keyboard, so my mom always had it. And then like I recently moved, like I used to always have roommates, but now I have a place that's like just on my own. And mom was like, do you want this keyboard? And I was just like, I forgot about the keyboard. Kind of just wanted her to sell it. I didn't say that though. I don't know why I didn't say that, but I was like, maybe you hold on to it because you have a house that has more room than I do. Not that my place is tiny, but I was just like, you could hold on to it. But she like insisted at some point, and she like brought it to me. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll find a little bit of room for it. It doesn't take up the most space, but it is here. I have never learned to play the piano in my life.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
I need to make that clear.
Nancy, do you know how to play the piano?
Like a good little Asian. Did you learn when you were young?
Did you ever take lessons?
Because I certainly didn't.
I mean, I didn't have lessons for piano. All of my musical lessons were all for singing.
You guys are destroying every Asian stereotype I've ever known.
I'm also only
that a good
okay
thing?
at math. Like it's like a B level. It's a B level subject.
I'm not even joking. Every ethnic Chinese person that I knew up until you two,
Hell yeah.
I either knew or was taught how to play the piano.
It's not that I don't know any, but I don't know how to play a piano in a classically trained manner. I play most instruments that I've ever played by ear, so I can figure out piano if you give me some time, but I don't know how to play piano. Like if you sat me in front of a piano, right, like, be like, Jay, you have a piano at home. Would you like to perform for your friends? And I'd be like, no, this is a mistake, first of all. Second of all, if you really want me to, I can sit here in front of the piano. And this is something that I have done once before. I will turn on my keyboard. I will select the pre-playable songs on the keyboard because it plays like an MIDI of songs. It has a song list. And I will mime playing the piano while the piano itself makes noises. So I will scam.
I definitely
people.
did that in stores. Like back in the day
scam
when you used to be able to walk into like a
store.
Sears and they had
Yes.
keyboards.
Yes.
Like a whole section of
Yeah,
keyboards.
keyboards and
I would
guitars and
absolutely
shit,
do
yeah.
that. I'd be like, yes, play me a song and I will pretend to be the one playing it and I will look all snooty while doing so. But definitely not what I could do naturally.
Ha! You unskilled.
Oh,
you
I'm
need
happy.
to get on my level.
I have.
When I was but a young lad, maybe 5, maybe 6, I was given a keyboard, an electronic keyboard, and I could play any song that it had built into this keyboard. because the keys would light up to tell me which key to light next. Get on my
Nice.
level, for I am the master.
No, that
Nice.
seems like way more effort. I could just sit there and pretend. You were still playing. That sounds like more work and is the dumber way of doing it.
Yeah,
Me,
like,
I could just
the
be
more
like,
I think about it,
left hand, right hand, da 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 da. Da.
the more I think about it, the more it's basically lip syncing, but for pianos, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
But it was great. That's all I needed to do.
But yeah, now I have this electronic keyboard here. I kind of wonder if I could find some peripheral to like hook it up to my computer. Well, I mean, I have my mixer, so I'm kind of stupid. Yeah, of course I could hook up to my computer. Anyway, aside from that, I don't plan on playing it anytime soon. There's no New Year's resolution to play that. I have no New Year's resolutions, in fact, because I am tired and jaded from the last 2 years of being hopeful.
Mood.
No, the truth is like, I think I've gone down to a point where like, I just believe that you just need to make time for what you can make time for and enjoy what you can, but don't necessarily make goals that are, you know, something that you have to commit to and stress about. There's already too much of that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I've actively stressed about my New Year's resolutions before.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't think I have either.
it can be like a yearly goal or something. It can just be something that I really want to do, something that I do want to focus on.
right.
Like last year, it was more about, okay, for the one do the thing that I was going to do anyway, get vaxxed. That's like the free space goal. That's the free space in the resolutions bingo. And everything else was like, yes,
No,
protect my wallet by not buying electronic equipment. By the way, I've also bought more RAM, but I bought it in last year, but it arrived in this year. Would that count as a strike against last year or this year?
Last year.
So if that had been a resolution of mine, I would have failed it because I bought a new hard drive to add to my computer. I bought 2 laptops this year.
Oh my
Not
god.
for me, but I bought 2 laptops this year. So it just, I don't know, I definitely would have failed that had that been my resolution.
What are your resolutions?
So it's funny because in the professional world, they teach you that if you're setting goals, they have to be specific. They have to be
Smart
measurable.
goals.
And then you have to like, yeah, so you need to do a SMART goal up and you're just like, yeah, you know, I don't need that. I sort of just have like a bunch of buckets of things that I already do or already will have time to do this year most likely. And I just want to get better at them. And like, I don't mean that they're all going to be freebies, but I mean, I have a lot of just random things. Like I want to make my streams look nicer. I'm probably going to run around and like do some visual touch-ups on it. I want to learn how to do some video editing so I can like make some cute transitions or something for stream.
Oh, I can
Or
help you with
I'm
that.
probably, and this is already happening, I'm probably going to be taking on more voice acting coaching and voice acting work. That's kind of just a given. So like that's probably my free space one right there. Or like I've mentioned this before when Jay has talked about digital painting. I will probably be working on some of that some more this year. And
Oh
I
my
guess my
God.
one more
Both of you have tablets now.
yes, we
We
have
can play
tablets.
Draw Pile.
What now?
Draw Pile.
I'm blinking blankly at you. I know you can't see it, but
Okay.
It's like a really cool drawing program that you can like draw together online.
Oh no. Well, I mean, that's existed
like,
for years.
collaborative.
That's just a collaborative whiteboard. That like
yeah,
It is.
couldn't you do that on oikake boards like
there's
way back in the day?
that's not special or new.
Were Oikaki could they actually do like live drawing
Yeah.
together?
You could collaboratively draw on the same board together. There were
There's-
some oikakis that did that.
There were lots of shared whiteboard type apps. There probably still are a bunch. But anyway,
I mean, I don't know if they were, specifically for digital art, but like oikaki is like the one that jumps out from, back in my
Man.
lizard brain days.
besides,
But like
True.
one probable thing that I'll be putting more intention towards is reducing waste. So I have a Swiffer.
poop less.
I'm probably going to find ways to reduce having to buy Swiffers by just like replacing it with an actual microfiber cloth that I can just wash and
Or-
reuse. Like,
use a
I will
broom.
probably be finding things like that to do around the house.
Just be more of a reuser and a recycler or an upcycler.
Or just like find things that yeah, but like finding ways to do the same thing that doesn't produce as much waste. Like a really good example is right around Christmas, I found a new deodorant that I really like. And the great thing about this deodorant is that you don't throw the case out when you're done with it. You actually just buy refills that come in bamboo pulp and they just
Right.
go in. And hooray, it works. It works really well. I really like the way this smells. And I'm not throwing out a plastic case every time I finish one. So, just more intentional little things like that.
There is, in terms of Swiffering, there is two things that you can do to drastically reduce the waste involved.
That's not
The first
a
thing is to
broom
just
is not
use
the
a
same
broom.
thing as a Swiffer. First of all,
But
no.
Yeah,
Like
brooms. I
I
actually
don't know,
hate
a
using
broom-
a broom. I grew up
a
using
Swiffer
one,
is
and
a
I hate
mop.
when it comes to Swiffering, you are using a rag. You are using a rag on a stick to
That's
collect
a
things
mop.
that you're just going to throw out. So what you should do, here's the big brain strat, is just do nothing.
Jesus Christ.
Leave
Cool.
the dirt on the floor.
You do
because
not
it's
know me,
it's not
Angelo.
waste
How dare you
until it gets
suggest
to
that
the
kind
bin.
of thing to me?
No,
You
I've
don't
been to your
even
house
know.
and it's very clean. Your house is so clean that I know. I'm saying this specifically.
I can't remember what I was
to-
going to say
to
just
noodle
now.
me.
I'm kind of sad.
It's what you're doing
What was
on
I gonna
purpose.
say
I
just
know
now?
you are.
So I'm in the same boat, but for something else.
Yes.
But I don't actually currently have it in my house because I don't look for it all the time. Like candles. Like scented candles. Have them around the house. They'd be nice to have.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of waste generated from those, but I don't like. I like to have scented candles in my house. I don't currently have them because I'm very particular about the scents I want to have, but then I don't want to have to always. There's two kinds of scented candles, not in terms of style or design, but how they deploy
Okay.
it, which is either it's a tea candle in the little metal ones, or it's the it's a bunch of
It comes in a glass cup.
glass cup, which is the dumbest thing ever. Because some of the scents I want to buy,
So do you like the
No,
you like the fire
I'm saying
effect
that
of the candle, or do
the
you
thing
just
is
want the
I want the smell
Yeah.
most of the time, right? The fire effect, I don't know if that's really a big deal necessarily.
So, one thing that I really like, I absolutely love incense sticks.
Okay.
Yes, you do. We have talked about this.
Yes, they're great. I haven't actually bought any in a long time now that I think about it. I should change that. But you get the nice smoke going through the air. It's very fragrant. In terms
I
of
mean,
waste,
yeah.
usually it just comes in a little cardboard sleeve. It burns down to ash and just leaves you with a little wooden stick left over. All natural materials, so it's not like it's a real waste there. And
Right.
it's not too bad. Another option, though, and this is something that Dio has. This is one of the reasons why I haven't gotten the incense sticks.
Diffusers?
Yeah, she's got a water diffuser thing, and you just throw some essential oils in, and that works really great. Oh my god, no fire hazards, unlike incense.
And a mild humidifying effect.
Exactly. The only downside to that
Yeah.
is there is the glass jars when you're done.
Okay, so I actually do have something of a sort of solution for you. The only thing that will hold you back is the actual offered scents, which may or may not be to your liking. But there is a company run out of Calgary that is part refillery and also a candle maker. So they actually let you bring in vessels that they will fill for you. So if you have one already, like a glass candle jar thing, and you're done burning it and you clean it out, and you just bring it to them and say, fill me back up this, glass candle jar, but I'm not scent
against
instead, or this one, or whatever. And they're the ones who use the wooden wicks.
None of that sounds bad.
So I mean, it's a route you can explore.
It's just the limitations of what the company does with or what they have for scents in their scent library. But yeah, I don't know. I think on just the big picture of it, I hate the idea of just accumulating glass containers for some reason.
Yeah, and now you don't have to.
You can get candles without glass containers. Like, you can just get a generic candle holder, get like, I believe it's votive candles,
tea
the
lights.
ones that are very short.
No, votives are different.
Usually like 2-3 inches tall, 1.5 inches. Tea lights are different. And usually they don't have any glass. So it literally, you just pop it on whatever you want to use as a candle holder. You can use one of your old Otafest mugs as a candle holder. Light it, it burns down to nothing. And then you just add a new one on.
Maybe I just have to look into something more like that.
You can do whatever you like.
To be honest.
Like, there are a lot of candles out there that are completely waste free. And if you want to go with like completely natural things, you can get beeswax candles with with natural wicks.
Coconut
and
wax,
then
soy wax.
You are doing.
I appreciate that because at the end of the day, I just want to stay away from collecting a bunch of
generating waste.
Weird. Yeah, I already don't actually generate that much waste. I mean, first of all, I live by myself. I shouldn't be generating that much waste in the first place. But all the stuff most of the waste I generate is like recyclables as it is. So I'm not really worried about it. But then you have stuff like the glass where you're like, you can't do anything
I just
with that.
bought this. It's nice. I'm done burning it. What am I supposed to do with this now? Like, throwing it out seems like a waste.
Yeah, of course.
Just
extra
eat it
crispy.
like a normal person.
Crunch.
I have repurposed some of those jars. Like, I've washed them out with really, really hot water, and I instead use them for like holding pens and stuff. But you can only do that so many times.
You only have so many places that needs pens held.
So I currently also have that problem. But that's also why I'm trying to make use of the refilleries in town, because like, even if I just need to go get something like hand sanitizer, I'm going to end up with like this other big plastic jar that will go into recycling when I could just get it from a refillery, and then I bring my own container.
There's this nice yogurt brand that's at the grocery store, and I can't remember what it's called. But the yogurts are very fancy, and they come in little glass jars. And I want to get them. I've only bought them once, and they were fantastic.
I did.
But I don't want to buy them again because I still have the little glass jars hanging around. I kept them because it's like, well, it'd be a shame to just throw them in the recycle. You shouldn't just throw them in the garbage because like glass is recyclable. But I mean,
now you can turn them all into little candles.
The second R is reduce or no, reuse.
First one is reduce.
And so the thought process instead has been, as much as I like that fancy yogurt, I hate having the stupid glass little container hanging around, so I will not buy that nice yogurt anymore.
I know exactly which ones you're talking about. I have bought them once. I still have the jars, and I use them for making Jell-O in the summer.
That's great.
But that's the only time I use them, for making Jell-O.
They would probably work as shot glasses.
Yeah, if you wanted to have like a dozen at a time. Anyway, so those were things that I'm just gonna work on this year. I'll try to reduce my waste,
eat less,
however
poop less.
I can. Gonna try and get better at everything else I do. Maybe I'll eat more duck.
There are, despite my somewhat personal pessimisms for this year, there are still many good things coming up this year.
There are.
One of which I am participating in an organizational.
You're participating in Otafest?
Yeah, I sure am.
No way.
Am I though?
Pretty sure
Am
I
I
am
though?
too.
We had this
You are
discussion. What if I got
right
sick?
now.
What if, no, you don't know. What if I got sick?
You are right
Then I
now.
won't be there.
This is the
You don't know
We're
podcast.
that.
It's
currently
part of
actively
Otafest.
contributing to the
You don't
Otafest
know that.
sphere.
I could tell you that I'd be like, I am going to produce this episode and then not produce this episode.
Yes,
And
but
it
you
would
still lent your
never
voice
be
to the
known.
episode,
Well,
which is
you just
already
volunteered.
It would
one of the
never
most
be
important
known.
parts.
But actual important thing that I've been very keen on trying to do something with this organization for a while, and it's non-Otafest, shocker. But Agdq, by the time this episode releases, Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 will have been going on for about half a week. It went from Sunday to Sunday, from the 9th to the 16th, and we're releasing this on the 12th, obviously. It benefits the Prevent Cancer Foundation. I know it's been tough times for everybody. Sometimes some of it in financial ways as well as, mental and physical health. But we're still trying to be positive, and I'm sure a lot of folks know what Agdq is. If you don't, it's speedrunning video games for charity, and it's super fun. You should drop on by. It's just on Twitch, and there's so many. You can check out the schedule, see what kind of video games that in the past that you've watched before or played before, and see them get absolutely annihilated by some very skilled people who spend countless hours practicing. It's insane. I've been chat modding for their Twitch channel over the past 6 months. I don't remember, something like that. And
yeah, you were a
it's been really
moderator
fun
during
time.
Summer Games Done Quick, weren't you?
Yeah.
No,
No?
Oh, I
not
thought
yet.
you were.
I joined right
Okay.
around that time.
Oh, okay.
I joined around that time, but I wasn't on there yet. But I will be chat modding for Agdq, so that'll be fun.
Go into
it'll
the
be- it'll be very
AGDQ
interesting.
chat and say things that Jay will have to ban you for. Don't do that.
Oh, absolutely. I
Jay
don't,
will ban you
hey,
without a second
No,
thought.
I don't care. I'll ban you. But while you're doing that, consider throwing down a donation. For a good cause. So, but honestly, even aside from just the good cause stuff, even if you can't donate or whatever, enjoy what's being put on as a program, because I think they honestly do some really awesome stuff.
Even if you can't
in that
donate,
community.
just watch AGDQ. You will get ads through Twitch, and that will make you support the cause.
Technically speaking, true.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to a bunch of the races, and because they're always my favorite sort of genre. And there's always, nostalgic games that you want to see, maybe Ocarina of Time or Metroid or...
Man, the early N64 games
Mario.
are the most ridiculous ones for speedrunning.
It's insane because any of the older games especially, because a lot of older games were written with limited resources, essentially. So they always had to sort of figure out some new little trick from the programming side of things to make something work, or hook one mechanic of the game to another one, and it was janky as all hell. But in those days it worked, and it wasn't bad. But now we're just systematically break it down.
It's even more than that. Back in the day, the development teams weren't so absurdly big, where they had a small army just doing QA, right? So on Ocarina of Time, there might have only been one or two people doing QA trying to bug test that.
Potentially,
if anyone at all. Maybe they just had their programmers doing the bug testing as they went. And so that's why even in the modern era, the last year or so, Ocarina of Time, people keep finding new bugs, finding new ways to exploit it. And so it's just
They're
it's
still breaking
so absurd.
records out there.
It's so absurd, and you love to see it. You love to see
yeah.
software being abused and taken advantage of in such a way.
Absolutely
in a
annihilated.
timed and competitive way, which I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I also have some friends in the speedrunning community as it is. I don't think they're running anything this year.
Slurpee Ninja,
particularly.
correct?
Indeed.
Well, more than that, there's a few I know, but yeah, Slurp's the local big guy, and then we've got lots of other folks that I kind of have met through the years and stuff. But that's just the personal side of it. I mean, I honestly want to support all these guys because, again, like they just put so many hours of like practice, not just for Agdq, but just in general, that goal of, beating their personal best, getting that world record or whatever it is. Just, it's super, super crazy. Yeah, I'm just super looking forward to it. It starts tomorrow because we're recording on this Saturday right now. It's something to look forward to.
I
Gives
am
me hope.
excited.
Yep. That'll be fun.
You know what else has me excited?
What?
What could it be?
I am excited for Sex Babam, who is here to make you feel sad and get sad and stuff. I forget how it goes. I forget how. But there's a Scott Pilgrim anime announced.
Yes.
Yay.
I am excited.
But it's being produced by Netflix, you say?
Is it actively produced by Netflix, or is this one of those cases where they just put the Netflix sticker on it after?
That makes me worried.
Does it?
I mean, Netflix produced things have made some good stuff. I'm credit where credit is due. Like, there are certain things from Netflix, like the Netflix Castlevania, Godzilla Singularity Point I really enjoyed. Like, there are some actual, like, good things that Netflix anime does. But I am a heckin' nervous.
I am also kind of nervous. Like, okay, I think an anime adaptation of Scott Pilgrim is a fantastic media for them to, chase after. I don't know anything about who's working on it, so that my confidence level is like, all over the place. But I think if they do,
Jay just got us some information.
Well, it's not even officially. It's not officially announced yet. Apparently, it's still like it's not a rumor, but it's in development, which isn't the same thing as production. To be clear. So what development means for people who aren't really familiar is like they have a concept, which is the story, the plot line, whatever, and they're seeing if they can massage it, work it into a format that they want to produce the show into, which would be the anime. What this really means is that it may never come to fruition. It's almost technically a rumor, but it's more than a rumor because we know that they're putting some legwork into it.
So
that being said, Scott Pilgrim is very close to being like almost like Avatar, The Last Airbender in a sense, where it's like it's anime adjacent as it is.
in its comic book form, like
Exactly.
the original source material, is extremely adaptable into anime. I have no doubt it could be
absolutely.
well adapted into anime. However,
the art style for it is very similar. Not similar in style, I should say, but similar in concept, like Mob Psycho, where because it's a simpler style, animating it becomes something you can more better do. You don't have to worry about small details. You just get the broad shapes and you're good. But should things work out, Science Saru, the production studio behind Devilman Crybaby and a lot of other great animation, should be taking care of the series. That studio was created by Masaki Yuasa, who is legendary for some good and kind of weird animation. Probably the first thing that I've ever seen that he did was Kimono Zume, which my God, there's some clickbait clips out there from Kimonozume. It was an anime about like some weird man-eating monsters, and there was this one scene where this young kid was going to like kiss his high school crush for the first time, and then he ended up biting her in half because it turns out he was a giant monster. There was a scene where this ninja guy was tied up naked to a chair while the Yakuza was about to kill him. But they didn't get his feet completely tied down, so he was able to jump around on the chair and fight them all. Like this guy, this studio, they know the weird good animation.
Well, they did Space Dandy.
Did they?
They also did.
I thought that was Sunrise.
They did some. That's not what it says here.
All right.
They cooperated. No, Bones did Space Dandy, but they worked with Bones.
You know what? Now that I think about it, there were absolutely some scenes in Space Dandy that were very Masaki Yuasa-esque.
Yeah. And then they also did some Star Wars Visions.
Yes, they did.
They did 2 bits there. But then something I actually watched recently, because I don't watch a lot of anime, people know, but I haven't completed it yet. I've been watching the Heiki story.
Oh, Heiki Monogatari.
Which...
How is it?
I really like it.
Nice.
At first... The reason why I it caught my interest at all, because it's sort of like Katanagatari. And I was like,
was great.
Always kind of like
Katanagatari.
I kind of like
it.
that. Okay, I'm going to say this. I don't know how I actually feel about the story yet, but I'm only halfway through, and it's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it because there's I think they're trying to create a certain sense of like disconnect. Like it's not all flowing yet.
Okay.
Like maybe they'll piece it all together at the end kind of thing for you. But the animation, all I can really say is that it is beautiful, but not in the traditional sense. We're not talking like, the most fluid.
We're not talking
movement. We're not talking like the
Mob
most
Psycho.
Yeah, and we're not talking
We're
like
not talking Red Line.
Friggin' Into the Spider-Verse with its style of like art, like popping colors and stuff like that. But it hits an art direction note.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but you really should.
It's hard to explain.
Like watch one episode of Heike Monogatari, because even if you don't love the story from where it starts, it's the story is sort of like based around Japanese feudal times, and I think the main character, who's this little girl, is like a sort of psychic. But anyways, aside from that, it's really just the art, the way they tell the story visually is very special. Like there's nothing I've seen like it, specifically through that show.
If you liked that, a recent anime that they did that was
Heike is very recent.
Oh, it's currently airing. Is it even done yet?
I think it's done.
If
but
it
it's
is,
like
it
2021.
just finished this last week or so.
Probably.
But Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken was also something directed by Masaki Yuasa, and it has that kind of animation that you're talking about. Like, he has a style. It's not like other anime. It's very hard to describe. It is a Masaki Yuasa anime. That's what it is.
I'm going to go ahead and say that, I don't expect every work of theirs to look exactly the same in every production. That would be dumb, frankly.
They don't look the same, but they feel it. You can feel it.
If the sort of beats that I can kind of image and lift from Heike can be applied to Scott Pilgrim, it will be a very interesting production.
I can't remember
a very interesting production.
how many times I watched the movie with Michael Cera. Like, you
The
can
movie's
say
pretty
what you.
fun.
I loved that movie. It's so good.
The movie's pretty fun. I gotta say though, the Scott Pilgrim story, I don't want to get like I like it, but it's about a group of just really shitty people.
Oh, that's the point.
That is the point. But it's just like it's easy to like gloss over because you can just sort of be very superficial about like, oh, there's all these like cool, interesting characters. But the truth of it is underneath that sort of veneer of like being cool or interesting or awesome, they're all just kind of shit people.
Yeah. Well, flawed characters are more interesting to read or watch, right? Like,
But
Superman,
I don't know if it's even because they're flawed.
kind
It's
of
because they're
sucks.
kind of shit.
like Superman
Yeah.
is like Mr. Perfect, and every single Superman thing eventually goes to.
I know what you mean. I
But
know what you mean.
what if Superman was kind of bad though this one time? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What if you had Bizarro Superman? What if Superman decided to dye his blue onesie black one day? Where it's boring. Whereas Scott Pilgrim continually digging his own grave throughout the series, only for it to culminate in Scott Pilgrim earning the power of self-respect. I don't know. It does feel good. It feels good.
I'm excited for the
It'll be
prospect
interesting.
of a very good adaptation of it. Yes.
Possible.
Yes.
But it's, and like I said, I'm worried about the One Piece adaptation. At least it won't be live action adaptation, so it'll be okay, probably.
I hope
Probably.
that
Probably.
the
I don't know.
2022 adaptation goes very well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I may or may not have written a fanfic about the year 2022, and I really hope that that the big guy upstairs adapts it faithfully.
Oh, yeah.
Santa?
Yeah, Santa. I wrote him a note. I sent it to the North Pole.
Did he respond?
No.
He called you a hoe 3 times and left. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's as much as we have time for. So have a great rest of the year.
Yep,
We'll have our
see you
next
next year.
episode
We'll catch up with you.
in
We'll catch up with
2023. But yes, thank you for listening. As always, hope you guys all stay healthy and take care and have a great rest of your year. And that's pretty much it.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Goodbye.
Set the